I can't say that everything happens for a reason, or that injustice and suffering are beneficial. But I can say that pain, hardship, and suffering are gifts that help us grow and evolve, and they help us become who we are. The phrase you say most often is, "Why me?" We have seen many people, such as when someone in their family gets cancer, or they themselves get cancer, their first reaction is, "Why me? I am a good person. I haven't done anything bad. Why did it happen to me?" Or various accidents have occurred, and they have been treated unfairly by others. This "why me" mentality will cause us to have many strong reactions, and sometimes even hurt ourselves or others. So there are several ways to get out of the victim mentality cage. The first is to learn to deal with these bad things with a calm mind, and the second is to learn to ask this question: is there any benefit to doing this? This question can make us sober. The third thing is that a person must learn to face loneliness, because when we have this victim mentality, we are often afraid of being excluded and lonely. Only you can be with you for a lifetime, and no one else can be with you for a lifetime. The second cage is called the escape cage. Why do many people become depressed or even suffer from depression? It is because they don't say it, they pretend that it doesn't exist, and they avoid these things. So it is wrong to protect yourself or others by not feeling emotions. The third cage is called the cage of self-neglect. Well, because we were very helpless when we were very young, sometimes our parents even joked with us, saying, "We'll leave you somewhere and you can't find your parents, so you'll cry anxiously," right? This kind of feeling is actually very intense for children. So because we are afraid of being abandoned, we have established a formula since childhood, which is what other people think, what other people say, and we are particularly concerned about how others will treat us. So sometimes when we grow up, some of us will do a lot of excessive things, often because of the inner fear of being abandoned. You have to learn to love yourself first. You have to set aside some time to take care of yourself, be a star, go shopping, and find some good friends. Fall in love, indulge in good food, take a break, and remember your worth. When you have some secrets in your heart that you don't want to tell others, no one knows. Secrets will bring shame, and then shame will bring addiction, which is a chain. There is a visitor named Robin, a lady, who has a secret that she has an affair. How did her affair come about? Her husband is very harsh to her, and often says some unpleasant things to her. There is no other sweet words except finding faults. So Robin felt very exhausted, and simply found another man. But this incident made her very painful, because she had such a huge secret in her heart. But do you think I should tell my privacy to the whole world? Not necessarily. You don't have to tell everyone all your feelings. You must first learn to be honest with yourself. Then tell the truth to some people. If the matter is not so serious, you can let others know about your entire life. In fact, it is not that scary. So we can at least find some confidants and friends who can reveal the burden in our hearts and help you get out of the cage of secrecy. This is the fourth one. The fifth cage is called the cage of guilt and shame. We should pay attention to what we have now and love ourselves. People are equal, and we cannot think that we are inferior to others just because of what we have experienced in the past. This is the core reason why we cannot get out of this cage. The sixth cage is called the cage of unresolved sadness. Well, if you have a big sad past that has not been resolved, it may follow you for a long time. You see, when a family has a relative, right? When this relative passes away, the biggest reaction in our mind is that we can never see him again, talk to him again, or walk with him again. This is called something that can't happen. The pain has more to do with this thing, that this thing has already happened, and no one can understand why it happened, why it brought you such a painful hurt. Well, but it has already happened, so you have to understand it. It is difficult for us to live in the present moment. We need to accept the past and the present and move on. The next cage is called the cage of rigid thinking. The core of the cage of rigid thinking is that we always think that our views are right, and we always try to use our own views to change other people's views. Well, it is difficult for us to realize our rigid thinking, because our rigid thinking is often challenged by good intentions. I am doing this for your own good. I hope you can live a better life, right? Why don't you listen to me? Because many visitors often want to change others, this kind of consultation is often useless. The next thing is called the judgmental cage. This is because people like to define others. When they see someone, they like to say, no need to talk to him, her anymore. This person is not the same as me. If you want to get out of this cage, you can tell yourself that the person you hate the most may be your best teacher. Think about the person who you despise the most. What lessons can you learn from them? The final hurdle to overcome is forgiveness. Many people have a wrong understanding of forgiveness, saying that they don't care about him anymore. I have forgotten about it, and I don't care about him. Saying that they don't care about him is not forgiveness. It's escape. The premise of forgiveness is that you have to allow your anger to be released. Although 12 cages may appear to be lengthy, I sincerely recommend giving it a chance. Reading it twice will not only allow for a more thorough understanding of the content, but also provide a sense of solace that cannot be found elsewhere.